Live from Pix 11 with today's top 11 stories. It's the Pix 11 Midday News with John Muller.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Midday with me, John Muller. Here are your top 11 stories on Pix 11. Number one, we're going to start with the weather. More showers and thunderstorms, a flash flood watch in effect through late tonight for much of New Jersey. Rain and strong thunderstorms are going to develop this afternoon with the locally heavy downpours possible. Now, the showers will linger into early Friday before skies gradually clear during the afternoon. Perfect for the first day of summer. Saturday is going to be sunny, less humid, temperatures around 80 degrees. Well, today's rain, it's going to make things worse in southern New Jersey, where flooding has caused major problems. Rescue crews trying to keep people safe. The hardest hit area of Belmore and Camden County. Heavy rain dumping as much as 5 inches there in 24 hours, and more is on the way today. Number two, a man stabbed to death in Manhattan trying to keep trouble away from his family's bodega. He asked a group of guys to move away from the front of that store. Things turned ugly. Pix 11's Henry Rossoff live in Inwood now with the very latest. Henry.
John, people have already begun laying flowers and cards here at the bodega, which is family owned and for obvious reasons closed today. We also did just obtain a picture of the victim. Take a look. It's 28-year-old Muhammad Awada. We found out he was married 3 years ago. These appear to be wedding pictures. His wife, we also found out, 7 months pregnant, expecting their first child. According to police sources, he was trying to disperse a group of people gathered outside the bodega. That's when one of the suspects stabbed him. Local Councilman Udanis Rodriguez just had a press conference here with the local Bodega Association, and they're calling for more police presence in the area. He's also considering legislation that would add panic buttons to certain bodegas, which would help not just with situations like this one, but one like we saw with Junior almost exactly a year ago.
My call is for one PP, one police plaza, to dedicate more resources to increase the number of police officers patrolling this area.
We've spoken with a number of community members swinging by with these flowers and well wishes. This loss really being felt deeply in this community. This was very much a community-oriented gathering place and family-run business, so a lot of impact in this community. We are also waiting on the NYPD to, in all likelihood, release some surveillance video. We understand that Bodega did have a working surveillance system that captured most of what happened. But for now, live in Inwood, Henry Rossoff, Pix 11 News.
Such a sad story, Henry. Thank you. All right, number three, President Trump making his first comments since Iran shot down a U.S. drone, saying Iran made a, quote, big mistake. Iran claimed the U.S. drone was in Iranian territory. U.S. officials disputing that, saying it was in international airspace over the Strait of Hormuz. Here's what the president said moments ago.
Iran made a big mistake. This drone was in international waters. Clearly, we have it all documented. It's documented scientifically, not just words. And they made a very bad mistake. Okay?
Mr. President, how will you respond?
You'll find out.
Are you willing to go to war with Iran?
You'll find out. You'll find out. I mean,
Mr. President,
obviously, you know, we're not going to be talking too much about it. You're going to find out. They made a very big mistake.
All right, well, you heard when the president was asked if he is willing to go to war with Iran, his response was, you'll find out. The White House expected to meet today to discuss the response. Well, a manhole fire causing buildings to be evacuated in Jackson Heights today. This happened just before 10 o'clock on 84th Street. There were reports of high CO2 levels there. No one was injured. The situation brought under control just before noon. A murder mystery. Number 5 on Staten Island, where a man was found shot to death this morning. 19-year-old Christopher Redmond shot in the chest. His body was discovered around 4 this morning on Page Avenue in Tottenville. Still no word on any suspects. Today marks 1 year since the death of Junior Guzman Feliz. The Bronx teen's brutal murder devastated his family and the community. Well, today the city comes together to remember Junior's legacy. Pix 11's Mary Murphy has a look at the past year.
I'm Mary Murphy at police headquarters, where the chief who was in charge of Bronx detectives on the night when Junior Guzman Feliz was so brutally attacked 1 year ago today recalls powerfully how the death of this one teenager impacted not only him, but the city and the world.
That image of Junior's face, his eyes, them dragging him out of that bodega into the street, him looking up, basically into the eyes of his murderers was incredibly powerful. And it immediately connected with people. And they saw the violence of it. They saw what happened. Junior, you couldn't help but feel for him. You know, you felt his fear, you felt his terror.
Hundreds of people are expected to come out in the Bronx this evening for a memorial mass and a march in Junior's name, ending at the bodega sidewalk where he received his lethal wounds. I'm Mary Murphy, Pix 11 News.
And we will be there, Mary. Thank you. Number 7, police have charged a Long Island man with the murder of his uncle. 40-year-old David Cahoon charged with stabbing 70-year-old William Cahoon back in January. Officers discovered the body during a wellness check at the man's Levittown home. Police say the dispute was over money.
David went there to get money from him. David got into an altercation with William. During that altercation, David stabbed him multiple times, causing his death.
David Cahoon charged with second-degree murder. He was arraigned today. Number 8, a massive fire destroying one home and damaging another one overnight on Long Island. You can see those flames raging from that home there on Garden Avenue in Massapequa. No one hurt, but the family did lose their cat. The cause of this fire is under investigation. Well, New Jersey's taking aim at ride-sharing safety. Today, Governor Murphy's signing Sammy's Law. It's named after college student Samantha Josephson. She was killed earlier this year when she mistakenly got into a car she thought was her Uber ride. Signs on ride shares now have to be visible during daylight hours at 50 feet and clearly visible in darkness. Well, tonight the NBA draft will take place at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The New Orleans Pelicans have that first pick in the draft, and they are expected to select Duke standout Zion Williamson. The Knicks have the 3rd pick. Experts think they'll choose Williamson's Duke teammate, R.J. Barrett. The Nets have pick number 27. Finally, from the Pix 11 archives, a taste of New York Yankees in 1980. Bucky Dent, Rick Cerrone, Ron Davis, Jim Spencer, and Bob Watson all scarfing down Wendys hamburgers at a Manhattan charity event. Wait for Bill Jorgensen's wry comment at the end.
11 alive. But Christy Whitaker has a report on some New York Yankees who are doing just that today.
5 Yankee players had carefully foregone breakfast to go to bat for their favorite charities. The timekeeper blew the whistle and they were off, sinking their teeth into a double hamburger in the first of a 2-heat contest. Bucky Dent, Rick Cerrone, Ron Davis, Jim Spencer, and Bob Watson, each trying to down a half a pound of meat, plus ketchup, lettuce, pickle, onions, and bun in the fastest time. The reward, the coveted title of Gustatory Goliath, and a $5,000 check from Wendys to the winner's favorite charity, plus $1,000 to the favorite charities of each of the other players. And the winner, Rick Cerrone, in 1 minute 22.5 seconds. And just a chew behind, Jim Spencer in 1 minute 26 seconds.
Bucky, you turned out to be one of the slowest eaters. Why do you think that was?
Well, these guys got big mouths. Look at the mouth on that guy. And he's going to get in trouble when George sees that.
How about you, Bob? What do you think went wrong with you?
It didn't go down. I got off to a good start, but it just wouldn't go down.
And then it was Rick Cerrone and Jim Spencer in the final heat, giving new meaning to the term fast food as they gulped down a triple burger, 3/4 of a pound of meat. And once again, Rick Cerrone in 2 minutes, 5 seconds.
I haven't eaten in 2 weeks. I was just trying to do it for charity.
Ready for the game tonight?
I don't know if I can play tonight. I hope I got to hit the ball out of the park because I can't run the bases.
Well, as Jerry told you in our sports report, all those burgers certainly didn't do the Yankees any good tonight.
Good stuff. For more on all these stories, tune into the Pix 11 News at 5 and 6. I'm John Muller. Thanks for watching.
This has been the Pix 11 Midday News with John Muller.